Shenyang, formerly known by its Manchu name Mukden, and Chinese names Shengjing and Fengshan, is the provincial capital and largest city of Liaoning Province, as well as the largest city in northeast China by urban population. According to the 2010 census, the city's urban area has 6.3 million inhabitants, while the total population of the Shenyang municipality is up to 8.1 million. In the 17th century, Shenyang was conquered by the Manchu people and briefly used as the capital of the Qing dynasty. Along with its nearby cities, Shenyang is an important industrial center in China, and serves as the transportation and commercial hub of China's northeast, particularly with Japan, Russia, and Korea. A center of heavy industry in China since the 1930s, and the spearhead of the Chinese central government's Northeast Area Revitalization Plan. The city has been diversifying its industry and now has a solid industrial foundation, a good land and air transport network, abundant natural resources, and a skilled workforce. The sub-provincial city region includes the 9 metropolitan districts of Shenyang proper, the county-level city of Xianmen, and 3 counties of Liaozhong, Kangping and Faku. History. Ancient era. The city's name refers to the Han River, which was formerly named Shen River, to the south of the city. In accordance with Chinese traditional concept of yin and yang, a river's north bank and a mountain's south slope are considered to be the sunny, or jiang, side. Residing on the north side of the Shen River, the city was hence called Shenyang, which literally means, to the yang side of the Shen River. Archaeological findings show that humans resided in present-day Shenyang as early as 8,000 years ago. The remains of the Xinla culture, a Neolithic period society over 6,800–7,200 years old, are located in a museum in the north part of Huanggu district. It is complemented by a recreated village on site. A wood-sculptured bird unearthed there is the earliest cultural relic in Shenyang, as well as one of the oldest wood sculptures found anywhere in the world. The city of Shenyang was first established by Qin Kai, a general of Yan in the Warring States period about 300 BCE. It was at that time named Hu City. It became known as the Shen Prefecture in the Jin dynasty and Shenyang Circuit in the Yuan dynasty. During the Ming dynasty, it became Shenyang Zhongwei, capital of Manchus. In 1625, the Manchu leader Nurasi captured Shenyang and moved his capital to the city, or Simeon-Hotan as it is called in Manchu language. The official name was changed to Mukden in 1634. The name derives from the Manchu word mukden bi, meaning to rise, and this meaning is reflected by its Chinese translation Shengjing, which literally means rising capital. A major city needed a major building, and in 1626 under Nurhachi's orders the imperial palace emerged as Shenyang's symbolic center. It featured more than 300 ostentatiously decorated rooms and 20 gardens as a symbol of power and grandeur. After the fall of the Ming dynasty in 1644, Manchu rule moved west inside the Great Wall and was established in China proper in Beijing. However, it retained considerable importance as the previous capital city and the spiritual home of the Qing dynasty through the centuries. Shenyang was also the birthplace of the Qing ruling family, Azanjuro. Treasures of the royal house were kept at its palaces, and the tombs of the early Qing rulers were once among the most famous monuments in China. In 1657, Fengshan Prefecture was established in the Shenyang area, and Fengshan was sometimes used synonymously with Shenyang, Mukden. Russian and Japanese concessions with the building of the South Manchurian Railway, Mukden became a stronghold of Russia, which occupied it after the Boxer Rebellion. During the Russo-Japanese War, Mukden was the site of the Battle of Mukden from the 19th of February 1905 to the 10th of March 1905. Involving more than 600,000 combat participants, it was the largest battle since the Battle of Leipzig in 1813. and also the largest modern-era battle ever fought in Asia before World War II. Mukden also became the government seat of Fengshan Province in 1910. Warlord era and Japanese invasion in 1914. The city changed back to its old name Shenyang, but continued to be known as Mukden in some English sources through much of the 20th century and in Japan until 1945. The postmark of the Chinese Postal Administration kept the spelling Moukden for usage on international mails until the late 1920s. After that, a Chinese Manchurian bilingual type Shenyang date stamp type was used until 1933. In the early 20th century, Shenyang began expanding out of its old city walls. Shenyang Railway Station on the South Manchurian Railway and the Shenyang North Railway Station on the Jingfeng Railway became new commercial centers of Shenyang. In the 1920s, Mukden was the capital of the warlord Zhang Zuolin, who was killed when his train was blown up on 4 June 1928, near Mukden at a Japanese guarded railway bridge. Several factories were built by Zhang Zuolin to manufacture ammunition in the northern and eastern suburbs. These factories laid the foundation for Shenyang's industrial development. The Mukden incident in 1931, which gave the Japanese the pretext to create the Manchukuo state, took place near Shenyang. On September 18, 1931, a small quantity of dynamite was detonated by Lt. Kawamoto Sumori close to a railway line owned by Japan's South Manchuria Railway near Mukden. The Imperial Japanese Army, accusing Chinese dissidents of the act, responded with a full invasion that led to the occupation of Manchuria. On the morning of the following day, the Japanese had occupied Mukden. During the Manchukuo era, the city was called Fengshan in Chinese again, and Mukden in English. During the Japanese occupation, Shenyang was developed into a center of heavy industry. Japan was able to exploit resources in Manchuria using the extensive network of railroads. For example, vast expanses of Manchurian forest were chopped down. Construction of Shenyang is also unbalanced in this period. Municipal facilities mostly located in Japanese residential areas, while Chinese residential area in poor living conditions. Post-World War II, under Marshal of the Soviet Union Alexander Vasilevsky, the Far East Command of Soviet forces entered Manchuria in early August 1945 following the surrender of Japan. On 16 August 1945, Manchurian Emperor Puyi was captured in Shenyang Airport by the Soviet Red Army while he was in an airplane fleeing to Japan. On 20 August, Soviet troops captured Shenyang. British and U.S. reports indicate that the Soviet troops that occupied northeast China and eastern Inner Mongolia region looted and terrorized the people of Shenyang, and were not discouraged by Soviet authorities from 3 days of rape and pillage. The Soviets were replaced by the nationalist Chinese, who were flown in on U.S. transport planes. During the Chinese Civil War, Shenyang remained a Kuomintang stronghold from 1946 to 1948. Although the Chinese Communists controlled the surrounding countryside, it was captured by the Communists on October 30, 1948, following a series of offensives known as the Liaoshan Campaign. Over the past 200 years or so, Shenyang somehow managed to grow and increase its industrial might. Despite consecutive wars by Russia and Japan in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Second World War, and China's Civil War, the city never came to an economic halt until the 1990s, when its massive factories went bankrupt and left millions jobless, which was well documented in the film Taishiqu. West of the tracks, Old City Shenyang used to have two city walls. The inner city wall was built in 1625. Most of it was rebuilt on the old city wall of the Ming dynasty, and the city wall gates were increased from 4 to 8. The outer city wall was built in 1680 to protect the urban area outside the inner city wall, which also had 8 gates. The total length of the outer city wall is around 16 kilometers. Nearly all of the city walls were demolished after 1949. 2 gates and 1 corner tower of the inner city wall were rebuilt during the 1990s. Around 2.5 kilometers outside Shenyang's outer city wall, there were 4 pagodas and 4 temples. East Pagoda, Yangguang Temple; South Pagoda, Guangqi Temple; West Pagoda, Yanshao Temple; and North Pagoda, Falun Temple. They were built in 1643. The 4 pagodas are identical Buddhist stupa as high as 26 meters. Only the North Pagoda and temple is well preserved. As for the east and the south, only the pagodas are left. The West Pagoda was rebuilt in 1998. Both the Temple of Heaven and Temple of Earth were also to be found in the Old City during the Qing dynasty. They were smaller replicas of Beijing's counterparts. Neither exists today. Geography and climate. Shenyang ranges in latitude from 41 degrees 11 to 43 degrees 02 N and in longitude from 122 degrees 25 to 123 degrees 48 E, and is located in the central part of Liaoning province. The western parts of the city's administrative area are located on the alluvial plain of the Liao River, while the eastern part consists of the hinterlands of the Changbei Mountains, and is covered with forests. The highest point in Shenyang is 414 meters and the lowest point only 7 meters. The main urban area is located to the north of Han River, a major tributary of the Liao River. The average elevation of the urban area is 45 meters. North Canal and South Canal flow to the north and south of the urban area respectively, which follows the historic course of Han River. Shenyang has a monsoon-influenced humid continental climate characterized by higher humidity and the majority of the year's rainfall in the summer, due to the monsoon, and almost no precipitation in the winter due to the Siberian anticyclone. The 4 seasons here are distinctive. Nearly half of the annual rainfall occurs in July and August. Monthly mean temperatures range from -11.0 degrees Celsius in January to 24.7 degrees Celsius in July, for an annual average of 8.39 degrees Celsius. The frost-free period is 183 days. The city receives 2,468 hours of bright sunshine annually. Monthly percent of possible ranges from 45% in July to 62% in October. Extreme temperatures range from -33.1 degrees Celsius to 39.3 degrees Celsius. Districts and zones. In general, agriculture, animal husbandry, and agricultural products processing dominate northeastern Shenyang. Eastern Shenyang is an auto parts hub, southern Shenyang is a high-tech, industrial base, and western Shenyang is home to heavy machinery manufacturing. The city center specializes in retail and financial services. The following is a list of districts and zones in the prefecture. The sub-provincial city of Shenyang has direct jurisdiction over 9 districts, 1 county-level cities and 3 counties. Shen District. Shen District is the central area of Shenyang. There is the Central Temple, near the Zhong Street, one of the most famous shopping streets in China. Built during the Ming dynasty, shows the center of ancient Shenyang. Most of Shen District is within the old city wall. It is 18 square kilometers and a population of 610,000. Shen District is the site of the Mukden Palace. It is also the site of Zhang Zuolan's former home and a headquarters, Shengjing Ancient Cultural Street. In the western Shen locates Muslim Town. South Pagoda is located in southern Shen District. There are a lot of high-end hotels located in Shen, such as Sheraton, Kempinski, Lexington, Marriott. The major thoroughfare of Kangnian Road separates the southern portion of Shen District from the neighboring southern portion of Heping District. Shen District is also home to Northeast China's main railway hub, the Shenyang North Railway Station. This station forms the border between Shen District and the neighboring eastern portion of Huanggu District. The station building has recently undergone a major overhaul and extension. Heping District is located in the center of Shenyang. It has an area of 21 square kilometers and a population of 640,000. The downtown Heping District has all manner of businesses that are brightly lit by neon at night. The district, better known as Downtown, sprung up around Shenyang Railway Station, former hub of the South Manchurian Railway. At the center of the district is Zhongshan Square, featuring one of China's largest statues of Chairman Mao, a record of the era of Cultural Revolution. Northwest of Zhongshan Square lies the West Pagoda Korean neighborhood or Koreatown. Many of the boulevards in this area are lined with very large ginkgo trees, which become golden in color and produce their distinctive fruits in autumn. Heping District is also the core area for many political institutions in the northeast, including CPC Liaoning Provincial Committee, headquarters of a Shenyang military region, General Logistics Department, and the Consulates General of the United States, Japan, South Korea, North Korea and other countries. Northeast Electricity, China Post Railways and other industries hub, and Liaoning and Shenyang Radio, Television, Shenyang Daily Group and many other news media are also located in this district. Dadong District is an industrial district. It has an area of 51 square kilometers and a population of 640,000. It is the largest district of the urban Shenyang city area. It is also the scene of the 9.18 Historical Museum, the North and East Pagoda. Huanggu District is named after Huangutun, where the Huangutun incident took place. It has an area of 37 square kilometers and a population of 750,000. It is the site of the large, historical tomb of Qing Dynasty's Huang Taiji, called Bailing Park. Huanggu District also hosts the Liaoning Mansion Hotel. It is also the office of the provincial government of Liaoning. TXC District is famous for its industry. This mixed-use district also contains large blocks of residential complexes, as well as strips of small to medium-sized shopping. It has an area of 39 square kilometers and a population of 810,000. It is featured in a 9-hour epic documentary film West of the Tracks by a young filmmaker Wang Bing. It shows the transition in this Rust Belt district, a palimpsest of not only Chinese but also world history. The first factories of this place were built in 1934 by the Japanese to produce war goods for the Imperial Army and nationalized after World War II. As late as the early 1980s, the factories here employed about 1 million workers, but all of them went jobless in the 1990s. TXC is also home to the Shenyang Economic and Technological Development Area, a state-level development zone. This new development area combined with TXC District has a population of 1 million people, a total area of 126 square kilometers, and enjoys the same administrative rank as municipality. TXC is very big. It is the biggest district in Shenyang, and is home to many famous landmarks such as Sanhao Bridge and Sanhaoji and his Empress. The district, adjacent to the Hunanyu District, is located on the east and south side of Shenyang. It hosts the city's only operational commercial airport, the Taoyuan International Airport, and is rapidly becoming high-end residential areas. As suburbs of Shenyang are growing steadily, 2 corridors along 2 major highways, one leading to the east and Tum and Fushun, the other leading to the international airport, have luxury apartments, fine neighborhoods and sleek commercial developments being built. Demographics. Shenyang has a population of 8.1 million and its urban population is 5.74 million. By urban population, it is the largest city in northeast China and among the top 10 largest cities in China. Ethnically and culturally diverse, Shenyang has 38 of China's 56 recognized ethnic groups. including the Han Chinese majority that make up 91.26% of Shenyang's population. The 37 minority groups are Manchu, Korean, Hui, Zibo, Mongolian, Zhuang, Miao, Tujia, Dong, Daw, Baikha, Tibetan, Yi, Taiwanese Aboriginal people, Shi, Bui, Yao, Aka, Kazakh, Dai, Li, Shui, Naki, Jingpo, Kyrgyz, Tu, Malau, Kiang, Maronan, Gelaro, Russian, Evenks, Tatars, Oricon, Nanai and Loba. Most of these groups are not native to the Shenyang area. A few, such as the Manchus and the Xibe, are. Not only is Shenyang multi-ethnic, it is a place where many foreigners live, especially from Japan and Korea. Shenyang also has many French and Germans because BMW and Michelin tires have large operations here. The city is growing quite fast and many foreigners are coming to Shenyang. With the growing expat population, many new restaurants and businesses that cater to them are opening. The American expat group is growing as well, in part due to the high demand of private English schools opening in Shenyang, as well as small kindergartens and private schools. Shenyang has numerous temples, mosques, churches and other religious places of worship.